Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into an incredible story about a penguin who had a huge problem. Now, this little penguin's name was Pip. He lived in a cozy little nest with his family. His dad was a great hunter, bringing home delicious fish for everyone. His mom was the best singer in the whole colony. And Pip, well, he was the squishiest penguin you ever did see. Oh yes, he was very squishy. Pip had one big problem though. He didn't like water. All the other penguins loved to swim and splash around in the icy waters near their homes, but not Pip. Whenever he saw those penguins diving and playing, he would shake his head and shiver. Brr, he'd say, "That looks freezing." The other penguins would laugh and say, "Oh Pip, you're such a scaredy penguin." And Pip would just waddle away, feeling more scared than ever. Every day after his morning nap, Pip would waddle down to the shore to watch the others play. He sat on a big, flat rock, safe from the waves, and watched them have fun. He wanted to join them so badly, but fear kept him on the rock. He was afraid of what the other penguins would think of him, if they knew how scared he was. So he pretended to be brave. "I'm not scared at all," he'd tell himself. "I just don't want to get wet." One day, a strong wind started to blow. It picked up speed quickly, whipping the water into a frenzy. Huge waves crashed onto the shore, making it hard for the little penguins to swim back to the safety of the rock. Pip watched as they struggled against the current. He wanted to help them, but he was too scared to go into the water. He wished he could be brave, like his dad, who wasn't scared to go after the biggest fish in the sea. As the wind grew stronger, a little penguin was swept further and further away from the safety of the shore. This was Pip's little sister, Dot. She was only a few months old and she didn't know how to swim yet. Pip watched in horror as a big wave knocked her off her feet and sent her floating away on a piece of ice. The other penguins were too scared to go after her. The current was way too strong. Pip felt a pang in his heart. He had to do something. He couldn't just sit there and watch his little sister disappear into the angry sea. Taking a deep breath, Pip waddled to the edge of the rock. He looked out at the churning water and the wild wind, then back at his floating sister. She was too far away for him to call out to her, and the longer he waited, the further away she'd float. This was his moment. No more pretending. He had to be brave, or his little sister would be lost forever. As he took one last look at the scary water, something inside of him snapped. Fear turned into determination, hesitation into action. In a flash, Pip jumped off the rock and into the raging sea. He flapped his stubby little wings and kicked his feet, trying to keep himself upright. For a moment, he felt like he was flying. Then he hit the water with a giant splash. It was freezing cold, but Pip didn't care. He was swimming, really swimming for the first time in his life. Using every bit of strength he had, Pip paddled towards his sister. The waves tossed him around like a toy boat, but he kept going. He could see Dot's little beak open and close in fear as she watched him come closer. Finally, Pip reached her and grabbed onto her ice chunk. He pushed himself against it, helping her stop floating away. Then, taking a deep breath, he pushed her gently in the direction of the shore. The other penguins had managed to get closer to the shore by now. They cheered and clapped as they saw Pip pushing his sister towards them. Together, they helped Dot onto the rock, safe and sound. She waddled over to Pip and nuzzled against him. "Thank you, Pip," she said. "You were so brave." Pip felt a warmth spread through him. A different kind of warmth than the hot cocoa his mom made on cold days. It was the feeling of accomplishment and pride. He had faced his biggest fear and saved his little sister. All the other penguins crowded around him, their eyes filled with admiration. "Pip, you were amazing," they cried. "You're the bravest penguin we know." One of the older penguins swam closer. "You know, Pip, you don't have to pretend to be brave anymore. You are brave. You saved Dot's life." Pip looked at the other penguins, then at the water. He took a deep breath and smiled. Maybe it wasn't so scary after all. He swam a few strokes closer to Dot. "Come on," he said with a wink. "Let's go play." And that's exactly what they did. They played until the sun started to set, and then they all waddled back to their cozy nests, happy and tired. That night, snuggled up with his mom and dad, Pip felt more loved and braver than he'd ever felt before. He still got scared sometimes, but now he knew he didn't have to be afraid of his fears. All he had to do was face them and be brave, like the hero he was. From that day on, Pip wasn't just the squishiest penguin in the colony, he was also known as the bravest. And that, my friends, is the story of how a scaredy penguin became a hero. Do you remember, Pip? How did he overcome his fear? What can we learn from him? Well, Pip teaches us that it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay to let fear control us. We can be scared and still be brave. Sometimes the scariest things turn out not to be so bad, and when we face our fears, we can discover hidden strengths within ourselves. Now, I want to hear your stories. Have you ever faced your fears and done something brave? Tell me about it in the comments below. And if you liked this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel to never miss out on new adventures. And as always, remember to be kind to yourself and others. After all, we're all just like Pip, learning to be brave every day. So until next time, my friends, keep being awesome, keep being brave, and keep believing in yourself, because you never know what kind of hero you might turn out to be. Thanks for watching.